Back to clear creek water. My goodness. Washed all the mud out. You know, it always amazes me. Morning, everybody. Chad, Doss Farms. It always amazes me how much water just exists. I mean, I know we had a huge rain, but it has not rained now since Sunday. And here it is Thursday. It's going to rain tonight. They were calling for some yesterday. Didn't happen. But still, this is what it looks like down here at the creek. Even way up the bank. I mean, look at this. This is flowing, man. It's just coming right out of the ground, right off of this hill. Look at that. Just pops out of the ground right there. I think we need to go check on that spring that we think we've got up top. See what it looks like. But first, we gotta reset this because, funny enough, the vultures have actually tripped it. Literally, I think I'm gonna catch myself a vulture. One of the turkey vultures, a redhead. But yeah, they come down here and sit on it and they walk across it, and when they get down here, they just push it shut. And they can't even reach that chicken in there. But anyway, if it's not one thing, it's another one. If it's not one thing, it's a vulture. All right. Well, I do believe in the next day or two, we are gonna get a little bit of rain. It's not gonna be like last time. Just some pop-up thunderstorms. And then I think Monday and Tuesday, we're due for some severe weather possibly, depending on which direction it goes. But if you're new here, welcome and howdy. If you're old here, welcome and howdy. It's my lovely wife and my 40 acres in Northeast Oklahoma. We got cattle, pigs, donkeys, chickens, 3 dogs, 3 boys, in no particular order. Mowed this yesterday with the Yakta. I can hit this side pretty good with the zero turn. Over here closer to the fence, it gets a little rocky, so I'd rather bring my brush hog when it gets taller. But nonetheless, I actually spray that fence line between my neighbor and I, and that seems to work the best. And it's kind of funny, out of all the things I've ever done, I get the most questions about the type of vegetation control we use. And it's RM43. It's in a red jug, burgundy colored jug. You can get it anywhere. You can get it in, you know, big enough supply to do this whole darn thing, you know, 40 acres of fence, or you can get it in a smaller one. And, you know, sometimes I think we all get a little hung up on the organic, pet-friendly, you know, I don't think my animals are gonna lick the fence if a little bit of RM43 gets on the fence. You know, I don't think they're gonna walk up and eat brown grass, dying grass that looks gross and smells funny. If they do, I just kind of hope it's not one we're gonna eat too, if that makes sense. But yeah, that RM43, man, that was like the #1 question I got last year after I did that was, what is your vegetation control? Well, there you go, RM43. I'll show you. I just bought a bottle today from our friends at Cedar Lane Farm and Garden this morning. Last year we had a really, really wet season. I'm sorry, complete opposite. Really, really dry season. And that stuff pretty much worked. I only sprayed once. It pretty much worked the entire growing season, because by mid-August, it hadn't rained in like 60 days. In September, what little rain we did have, I was kind of welcoming the grass. I wasn't gonna go, you know, spray my fence lines again. But nonetheless, I think you easily get 90 to 120 days out of it, at least during a dry season. And I'm gonna do them all. I'll do them all. Every fence line you see, everything, even the backyard. I'll just keep the pattern a little bit tighter right here on the backyard for the dogs. But that way we don't have to weed eat it. I did it last year, so it ain't gonna hurt nothing. But man, I don't know if you guys remember, but this part of the property was littered with wood, trees, timber, things they'd cut up and chopped up. This was like a giant, actually it had decayed so much it had kind of grown together. I took it all out of there. Now I want to see how these trees do. There's like no branches on this tree right here. And for whatever reason, there's no branches over here. So we might take them out, plant our own thing. The only water line we've got is the one we just added, which is 30 feet away. I know trees grow, their roots are half as tall as they are, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I still might want a tree here. So do what you want on your property. I want a tree. But I might take these out, put a tree. I did, rest in peace, I knocked down the palm tree. It was time. It was time. The palm tree, after 7 inches of rain, which it should be used to because Florida gets a lot of rain. I know it's not the only place palm trees grow, but it just wasn't coming back, man. It was done. So that cold spell just snapped her. Yeah, that big mess of stuff right here, and then pretty much any piece of timber I could find between here and the fence for the cows went right here yesterday. That pile was probably 6 feet high, and I just let her rip all day, all evening. And it got so hot I couldn't even really like keep it raked. Like I couldn't keep them going, but we'll see if we can do it again today. Roll these in there. I think they'll start up again. So we'll see how that does. I might come over and put a little diesel on it, get her going again. But yeah, my goal is just to we want this all green, all of it. We want to be able to mow the whole thing. We've even kidded, but we're also serious about letting a couple of the cows out here to graze this. So we'll see. But don't it look pretty? It's pretty good considering it was all dirt last year. Dirt and trees. Here we go. Sugar. Sugar. Where's she at? You ready for your first rodeo? Let's go. Vámonos. Morning, Lucy. Good morning. Lily. Bonnie. It's Beans' mom, by the way. Miss Nellie. Sugar. What's you doing? June and Blue, Miss Tipsy, Phineas, what's up, buddy? What's it doing, man? It's Glory. Fiona. So I think it's now a race to see who calves first. If her calf had survived, I would say she's definitely behind Miss Fiona. But unfortunately, she lost her calf. But that means she likely was recovered and ready and back in a heat cycle as soon as Fiona was. So they both could potentially go here in the next 30, 45 days. She actually looks puffier and has more of a bag forming than Fiona does. So Fiona's also kind of a big girl. See that? There's like no bag there. She's also kind of a big girl. And she made us... Nah, I don't see much puffiness. Hang on, we're gonna go this way. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited to see a Maximus Fiona baby. But what do you want to bet Tipsy's baby is stark white? I mean, wouldn't that be something? Another stark white calf. Killing me, Smalls. Maximus is one of those animals. Maximus is one of those animals. They run through the auction, and the auctioneer goes, "All right, if you're looking to add some color to your herd, this is your boy." And then he kicks out 2 stark white calves back to back. What are you gonna do? Look at them eating cubes. My goodness. Get you some. Get you some. She's tough. She knows who her mom is too. Doing okay? She looks so good. And then of course Junebug and Miss Tipsy we were just speaking about. So you'll see in the summer, Tipsy's got a lot of black spots that come through. Now that right there, that's a scar from when she got branded. But yeah, she's just looking bigger in the belly. And of course her hindquarters is a little bit swollen. We're still a ways off. I'm gonna say 45, 60 days, but we're still a ways off. And then there's this guy, tore out his tag, apparently at some point. Apparently mom knows the blue tags mean we eat them, which is weird because Frank's had a blue tag since he was 5 months old. But look at the little nubs. Oh my gosh. Are you hanging out with Miss Bunny? Are you hanging out with Miss Bunny? Are you? Is that what you're doing? She's gonna look exactly like Nellie. Like exactly. There's just so much growth back here now. It's pretty crazy. I'm very pleased. So as far as like forestry management goes and clearing this all out, we're going to continue. It's an ongoing project. It will be for years, I think, because we don't want to hire a dozer and just clear it. So it's going to be something we always work on. But now what I want to do, since everything's budding out, we can do a better job of marking dead trees. And that's going to be my goal. I've actually got some, I think it's orange, spray paint in the garage that I used last year when we hired a dozer. And I'm going to throw it in the back of the side-by-side one of these days when I remember. And we're just going to start marking trees that are clearly dead. Not that we won't be able to tell for months and months and months, but yeah, just get a good start on it. That way when we know and we hire a dozer or a forestry mulcher or something, we can already have our trees marked. So yeah, this is our thing we think is a spring, man. I mean, there's a video from that's a mosquito haven right now, but there's a video from like a year ago this time where we found a white rock that was like weeping water. And you can see it's still wet down here. But somebody told me that brown stuff actually means that it's from the ground. So a spring, essentially. Not all springs are clear flowing water. You have to get to a certain spot of the table. So I don't know, man. It might be worth drilling a well up here. Like a hand pump. Might be worth sticking one in the ground there. I just thought this whole hill was rocky. I didn't know. I'm going to continue to check that. I might actually bring a camera back here and put it on a tree, and that way we can keep an eye on it and yeah, see how long it takes to go down. But I mean, again, we've got rain coming for the next week, like intermittently every other day, so it's not like if there wasn't a spring there, it's still going to get wet. So somebody suggested we're about 600 feet from that little spring that we dig a trench right here. And I don't think that's a bad idea. Just give the water a definite place to go, larger debris, something calves and cows can't get under, but just go ahead and start a trench right there. We'll see. I mean, this is all loose rock. This was just deposited here after the last rain, which is crazy because we didn't touch the earth over there. That's the neighbors. It wasn't a once in a lifetime rain because we got one last year just like it, But last year we hadn't cleared a bunch of land, so the water didn't flow as fast. But all of this was underwater just 2 days ago. And as you can see now, it's completely dead, or completely dry. But this is where we need a drum mulcher. I think that's gonna be the next piece of equipment I rent. I know some of you guys think you could use a brush hog, and you could, but with the drum mulcher, this tree is no match right here. And neither is any of the trees behind it. If you bring a brush hog back here, you're really doing double duty. But I may do it. I mean, I've got this beautiful cab tractor, so I'm safe, I'm in the air conditioning. You know, I might polish up the old sharpen. I might polish up the old brush hog blades and bring her in here and just see what kind of mess I can make and go from there. What you want? What you want? You hungry? It's like a bear coming through the woods, man. There's his lady friends. Get the leaf. Get it, buddy. Gets that from his Highland mama. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm just really pleased with all the green vegetation we have. It did not look like this last year. Well, they're just fast birds. They're very agile.
Yeah.
Look, she's always panting.
Well, we may have to race her with one of our guineas.
Yeah, she'll probably smoke it.
I don't know, man.
The spotted one's a barred rock. They're super sweet. Okay, they get along with like everything.
You're making all these notes.
These
I can't
two
repeat chicken breeds.
are blue laced Wyandottes or
They're
red-laced?
blue, red-laced Wyandottes.
Blue, red-laced Wyandottes. These two that look the same are. And then she's a silver-laced Wyandotte. That's a Bantam rooster. That's a black Australorp being squished to death.
What's Magneto?
A.M. Samani. I didn't think you put a hen in there.
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't. You're right.
I don't think you want a Bantam hen.
They don't lay as many eggs. They're not very good layers. But they're super sweet chickens. And so they're like my buddies.
So if you want a Bantam hen later, we will have a rooster and a Bantam hen.
Okay.
So you can have some. But
Oh, so you'll get the eggs.
yes, but where you guys are at in your journey, I don't think getting little tiny Bantam eggs once a week is what you're after. But if they're cute and they're sweet and you expand your run and you're like, man, I really like some of those, we've got it.
Yeah, you're right. So I ended up keeping both my Bantam hens. So I gave you another Wyandotte who's a really good egg layer.
The Well Summers just...
Two of the Wyandottes instead of a Bantam hen.
Okay.
Well Summer Barred Rock, Black Australorp, Bantam Rooster, and a Silver Wyandotte.
These two are pretty close to the same, but that one's got more.
They are the
red
same
lace.
bird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the blue red laced.
That's just
These
like,
ones are.
yeah.
Do you think hers will come in like that, or is she growing out of that?
I think they're going to look like how they're going to look.
Okay.
They're pretty far along.
She looks red. She looks blue.
But you should get eggs. Well, see, I think we wound up with 5 blue red-laced Wyandottes. And I think one of those is from Meyer Hatchery and the other one's from Cheyenne Tyler.
Okay. So my favorite birds are, well, the Black Australorp. She is really sweet and really lovable. And then the Wyandottes also have been like laying in my lap.
So all of these guys have had human attention.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a few posts.
So the Wyandottes are your biggest and cuddliest. They're not like prolific layers. People raise them because they're very friendly and they're a dual purpose bird. So if you're a true homesteader and you need a bird to eat, they eat the Wyandottes when they're done laying eggs. Because every chicken's already got a determined amount of eggs They don't lay forever and ever.
That's how women are, right? You only got so many.
Yep.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So about how long will they lay, typically?
3 to 4 years. About the third year, you're probably going to see like a 20% reduction.
Yeah.
And then maybe 10 every year after that if they make it.
It's fun we can actually touch them. We can't touch our guineas.
No, yeah, it has to be
They'll-
time and they freak out.
Yeah. You'll be able to like walk in and like we scoop them up off the roost and they like sit in our hand and we just kind of walk around with them.
Okay.
The only ones,
The Welsummer.
The barred rock, they're super sweet, but both of my barred rocks, they, even though I've been socializing with them, they won't.
They're just kind of
they won't
finicky.
come to me, so I don't know why but I mean,
It's okay.
It may be because there was 25 birds in here.
yeah,
We don't know.
yeah.
It's a silly question. Do we need to like skip on eating their very first eggs?
That was a silly question. No, you don't skip eating any of the eggs.
Well, we didn't know because our guineas, some of the first ones that came out were so tiny, and we had some that weren't good when we cracked them open.
Yeah.
I mean,
Were they fairy eggs? They have soft shells?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, those are farts. Don't eat those.
fairy eggs, huh?
Yeah, they were very much smaller than regular size ones. Yeah.
That's when you're driving down the road and you're like, oh boy, no wait, never mind. I'm good.
Yep, that's misjudgment.
There's 7 in there, so there's 6 layers and 1 rooster, of course.
Wow.
So did
Thank
you
you
give
guys
us the
so
meanest
much.
rooster you got, or did that go to Grandpa?
I tell you, it was really, actually Grandpa didn't take a rooster
Oh,
because
yeah.
they would just fight.
That's true.
The roosters were the hardest ones to pick between. We have not had a single issue with the roosters.
All right.
That's great.
So,
This little guy right here is the
Uh-huh.
rooster, right?
Yeah.
yes ma'am.
Yep. So yeah, your rooster is the one that's got the furry feet.
Oh, okay.
And the big comb, of course.
Okay.
The apple bottom jeans.
Boots with the
Yeah,
fur.
Bantams have feathers on their feet. So
The whole club was looking at him. So how it goes?
Now, are we going to get along with the guineas, you think? Or the cats? Or are we going to find out? Is Bruno going to
We're
make you
gonna
a snack?
keep them in a run for a while and not let them free range just
Yeah.
yet, so we know.
We aren't either.
I
And
want to keep them locked up anyway for. I mean, I can honestly.
I would wait until they lay.
Mostly over 2
If you want
weeks
my
or so.
opinion, I would wait until they lay.
I was gonna say a month or more. I would keep.
Which
them
we
locked
did, our guineas, before I free ranged them, I was always getting them to about 12 weeks. And then I'd let some out and keep some in the run and just continually add more each day. Long process, but paid off, and they're sticking around for the most part.
I probably.
Chicken
Are
butt.
they- How far out are they?
Mid-June.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'd
say,
be
I
surprised if you
probably
don't have
wouldn't-
eggs by mid-June.
I wouldn't let them free range probably until June or so.
Well, the issue with the free ranging is it's not the danger. It's when they start laying, do they know to come back to the coop, or do you wind up with birds laying in the middle of the woods?
We already
Who would
have that
want
now.
that?
I don't want
So-
to make it worse.
Yeah.
Definitely get them used to their new home. and-
Yeah.
Well, and Bruno will go find the eggs for us, but he can't break a guinea egg in his mouth. He will break a chicken egg for sure.
Unless you feed them their own eggs, which I recommend. I do it. I'll always do it. People can get over it. People are like, get them oyster shells. I'm like, why? They got egg shells.
They make their stuff right here. They eat the shells too.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
They're yeah.
The shells are actually what they're eating. That's the calcium that makes their egg shells harder.
Just happen
Like,
to be in there.
if you
They need-
next time you get eggs from Dad, like squeeze the egg. Now his get a little bit of grain, but like squeeze the egg. It's way harder than a store-bought eggshell. Way
They
harder.
need the calcium and they need vitamin D in order to lay. So like sunshine and calcium. So like oyster shells or their own eggshells. Did you hear that rooster crow?
Trying. Yeah, he'll try and crow. He sounds like a kid with a cracky voice. It's kind of a.
He's sweet though.
Chicken
He's a
puberty.
sweet
Are you holding on to that one? Yeah. It's a little rude. They're cool looking, man.
We bought some.
Prettier than our guineas.
Yeah. We bought, and they're not near as noisy.
Yeah.
He's
Now,
about
when
to-
they-
he's about to crow. Oh,
He wants to.
he wants to. He sounds like a baby. Aw.
Do it, man.
He wants
Do it.
to. He wants
He
to.
is. He's
so
thinking
bad.
about it. So we kept 2 roosters. We have 3, so we're gonna find a home for one. But we're gonna keep 2 because we're hoping that since they grew up together, we won't have an issue. But you never know.
Dad's had 2.
But anytime you introduce them, Magneto turned 5 years old last week.
Did he really?
Yeah, we hatched him on Easter when Case and I first started YouTube.
Okay.
So bringing a rooster into Dad's place, that's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Which is why he didn't hatch. That's why he doesn't want to hatch more. People are like, why didn't you hatch them? Why didn't you hatch them? Well, you could wind up with, if your incubator holds 21 eggs, you could wind up with 21 roosters.
Yep.
That's how what happened to our neighbor. He had 7 hatch and 5 of them were
Mm-hmm.
roosters.
They're going to be eaten.
Yeah, roasters.
Yeah. So if Dad does want to hatch and he's got an excess, I know a guy that would take them, but I know Dad can't deal with knowing what their destiny is.
Woo! All right. So it's been a couple hours. If you want to see Kyle and Shannon's new bird herd, you got to go over and watch their channel. In the background, you can hear Miss Ray cleaning our coop. I figured I'd treat these guys down here because I'm sure this hay is a lot more comfortable to eat on. Frosty! Is Mom interrupting nap time, Frosty? Is Mom interrupting nap time? Golly, don't get up. Hey, look how lazy he is. If he don't get very big, it's his own fault. You okay, bub? You okay? He's all right. See, it's all right. Get up and get some cubes, silly boy. MJ's back here somewhere too. There he is. You had yours this morning. Yeah, quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Getting big. MJ. Right in the middle. Why not? Hey, Nellie, where's your baby? Nellie, where's your baby? Oh my. Goodness. Remember, you're going to see some flies on these guys. As long as they're not on their face, I'm not worried. But he's going to the processor in less than 2 weeks, and then we'll treat these guys for flies. I just don't want to contaminate him with medicine because you can't eat them when you've treated them. Dude, come on, man. That stuff's expensive. So this is the last of them. I'm not gonna step in there because Ray just cleaned the coop. Put fresh bedding down, the smell good stuff. It smells so good, so much better. So I think that leaves us with 15, no. How many birds we got? 16 birds, 3 of them are roosters. Ray's cleaning the run out, but that's gonna take a little bit. And by the way, if anybody tells you to put shavings down in your run, don't do it. That's a terrible idea. Also, hemp bedding, people say it's dustless. I beg to differ. Yep, don't listen to that either. Part of having chickens is cleaning up after them. That's how it is. Now, we had a lot more birds in here than we're probably supposed to be, but it's all, are you gonna say hi? But it's all okay now. What's up, buddy? I got nothing. So appreciate Kyle and Shannon coming and getting their birds. They took a bunch of our panels as well, the real robust ones, so they'll be able to keep them all safe. When they should let their birds free range. So there's 2 schools of thought on that. It has to do with predation pressure. I personally am not planning on letting ours free range until we have an egg or one of our roosters is very dominant, because what you don't want to do is for them to get that egg feeling roaming around who knows where, and this isn't their go-to, if that makes sense. That's our egg laying box or nesting box. So that is one thing you want to be mindful of, but It's just, I mean, I've had chickens for 10 years. It's what I do. Man, I'm looking good. I've had chickens for 10 years. It's one of the things I know, and through trial and error and losing them and hatching them and all that, I've learned a thing or two. It's just my opinion. But personally, if you want chickens, go get chickens. That's what I'd rather convey. Just start somewhere. Everybody's, what do I start with? What do I, cows, chickens? Just go get some. Just start raising animals. Just do it. All right. With that said, I'm going to head in. I got some things to do this evening, fun stuff, but I got some things to take care of, so I'm going to get out of here. But if you want to see how many chickens Kyle and Shannon got and their setup, I'll link their channel down below. With that said, y'all be good. Don't work too hard. Don't make it weird. God bless. Deuces. See y'all.